The Egyptian sun beats down upon the Valley of the Kings, casting long shadows over the ancient cliffs and tomb entrances. This is a place where the past lingers in every grain of sand, and the silence is heavy with secrets. It is a city of the dead, carved into the living rock by pharaohs who dreamed of eternity. Each tomb is a monument to ambition, faith, and the hope that life could continue beyond death. Here tombs were filled with gold, jewels and food not merely as graves, but as portals to the afterlife. The treasures were meant to sustain the pharaohs on their journey, ensuring their comfort and power in the world beyond. Yet time is a relentless thief. Tomb robbers driven by greed and desperation plundered these sacred chambers, erasing names and stealing treasures meant for eternity. The valley's silence was often broken by the echoes of their crimes. By the 20th century, archaeologists believed the valley was exhausted. Every tomb found every king accounted for. The golden age of discovery seemed over, and the sands settled once more. But one name lingered in the air. Tutankhamun, a minor king, whose tomb remained a tantalizing mystery. His story was incomplete. His resting place still hidden from the world. His resting place was lost, swallowed by the earth and forgotten by time. As if the valley itself guarded his secret with jealous care. Beneath the feet of countless explorers, an undiscovered world lay dormant, protected by more than just stone and sand. The valley's mysteries were deeper than anyone imagined. The ancient Egyptians chose this place for its isolation and sacredness, believing their kings could rest undisturbed for all eternity. Priests performed rituals to protect the dead, invoking the gods to watch over these hallowed grounds. They sealed their tombs with powerful incantations, warnings to any who would dare disturb a pharaoh's eternal slumber. Hieroglyphs and magic scrolls lined the walls, promising curses to trespassers. The silence of the valley was not emptiness, but anticipation a breath held for centuries, waiting for the right moment to be released. The heat shimmered across the landscape, mirages dancing on the horizon, blurring the line between reality and legend. Here the past was not gone but sleeping, waiting to be awakened by those who dared to seek its secrets. The world had forgotten Tutankhamun, but the valley had not. His memory lingered. Hidden beneath layers of sand and time, the secret of the boy king waited untouched beneath the sands, ready to change history when at last it was revealed. Tutankhamun became pharaoh as a child, thrust into power. Before he could truly understand the weight of the crown he wore, he inherited a kingdom in chaos after his father. Akhenaten's radical religious revolution, which had upended centuries of tradition and left the people divided and uncertain, surrounded by powerful advisors. Tutankhamun was guided to restore the old gods, hoping to heal the wounds left by his father's rule. The capital was moved back to Thebes, a symbolic return to stability and the familiar. Yet the boy king himself was frail. His mummy reveals a clubfoot, evidence of genetic disorders and signs of malaria that plagued him throughout his short life. He walked with a cane often depicted as anxious and uncertain. His reign, lasting barely a decade, was marked by pain, physical limitations, and the ever-present threat of political intrigue. Tutankhamun's death at just 19 remains mysterious, once thought to be the result of murder, but now believed to have been caused by an infected, broken leg, possibly from a fall or accident, which his weakened body could not survive. The kingdom was unprepared for his sudden passing. Advisors scrambled to maintain order, and the people mourned the loss of their young ruler. His burial was rushed, the tomb small, likely not intended for a king. Treasures were hastily packed, and rituals performed in a hurry to meet tradition. The entrance to his tomb was soon buried by debris from later construction, sealing it away from the world. This accidental concealment preserved his tomb, while others were looted and lost to time, their treasures scattered. Forgotten by history, Tutankhamun lay undisturbed for millennia, his name fading from memory as new dynasties rose and fell. The boy king's obscurity became his protection, his tomb hidden from robbers and the ravages of time. His story nearly erased was waiting to be rediscovered by a world eager for wonders and mysteries from the past and death. He achieved the immortality denied to him in life, his legacy preserved by chance and fate. The world would soon remember the name Tutankhamun, a name that would echo through history and captivate millions. His tomb, untouched for centuries, held secrets and treasures that would captivate the world and rewrite our understanding of ancient Egypt. The forgotten king was about to become immortal, his story finally ready to be told to the world. For 3,000 years, Tutankhamun's name was a whisper, erased from monuments and buried by the desert. His tomb hidden beneath debris from Ramesses. The sixth construction escaped detection. Treasure hunters and archaeologists scoured the valley, convinced nothing remained. Theodore Davis, after finding artifacts bearing Tutankhamun's name, declared the valley exhausted, missing the tomb by mere meters. But Howard Carter, a determined English archaeologist, refused to give up, backed by Lord Carnarvon. Carter spent years searching. His obsession unwavering funds dwindled. Hope faded, but Carter pleaded for one last season. He pointed to a small patch of ground, overlooked by others, covered by ancient workers' huts. Carnarvon agreed, granting Carter a final chance. The decision would change history. The stage was set for the greatest archaeological discovery of all time. In the crisp autumn of 1922, after years of searching and disappointment, Howard Carter's team finally cleared the last untouched ground in Egypt's fabled Valley of the Kings. The air was thick with anticipation, every shovel of sand a step closer to either triumph or defeat. For days, nothing but dust and rock. Until at last a workman's pick struck something solid, a step expertly cut into the bedrock, hidden beneath centuries of sand. Excitement surged through the camp as more steps were uncovered, forming a staircase that descended into the earth. At its base, a sealed doorway appeared, stamped with the unmistakable royal seals of ancient Egypt. Carter, his hands trembling with hope, made a small hole in the door. He peered inside, holding a candle aloft, and glimpsed a passageway choked with rubble, a promising sign that the tomb might still be undisturbed, after thousands of years fearing for the tomb's safety. Carter carefully refilled the staircase to conceal their find, and sent a messenger racing across the desert to summon his patron, Lord Carnarvon. Weeks later, Carnarvon arrived from England, accompanied by his daughter, Lady Evelyn, both eager to witness what might be the greatest discovery in archaeological history. The staircase was cleared once more, and the team uncovered a second sealed door. This one bore the name of a long-lost Pharaoh Tutankhamun. With trembling hands, Carter breached the ancient door, releasing a rush of air that had been trapped for over 3,000 years, a breath from the distant past. He peered inside, his eyes adjusting to the darkness, and was struck silent by the dazzling sight that greeted him. "Can you see anything?" Carnarvon asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Filled with suspense, Carter, awestruck, replied yes. Wonderful things, his words would echo through history. The antechamber was piled high with golden chariots, statues of gods and treasures beyond imagination, each artifact a silent witness to a forgotten age. It was a breathtaking glimpse into a world untouched by time, preserved in darkness for millennia. At last, the lost king's resting place had been found, his story ready to be told anew. News of the discovery spread like wildfire, captivating the world and forever changing our understanding of ancient Egypt. Tutankhamun's secret was finally revealed, and the doorway to eternity stood open for all to see. The antechamber was only the beginning. Carter's team catalogued thousands of objects, gilded couches, chariots, jewelry, and even board games for the afterlife. The burial chamber held a colossal golden shrine, inside which nested 4 more shrines, each more ornate than the last. At the heart, a quartzite sarcophagus contained 3 coffins, the innermost made of solid gold. When opened, the team gazed upon Tutankhamun's mummified remains, crowned by a stunning golden death mask. Over 5,000 artifacts were recovered, dagger statues, jewelry, and even a lock of his grandmother's hair. The tomb was the most complete royal burial ever found, offering an unprecedented window into ancient Egypt. The world was captivated by the treasures and the story of the boy, King Tutankhamun. Once forgotten, became the face of ancient Egypt. His legacy was reborn in golden legend. The discovery redefined archaeology. The treasure spoke of a civilization's glory and a king's quest for immortality. The boy king's story was now eternal. The world would never forget Tutankhamun. As news of the discovery spread, so did tales of a pharaoh's curse. Journalists fueled the legend, claiming dire warnings were inscribed in the tomb. While no explicit curse was found, protective spells and magical wards covered the walls and artifacts. The idea of a curse gripped the public imagination, blending fear with fascination. The tomb's eerie atmosphere, ancient flowers crumbling to dust, the scent of sealed air added to the mystique. The curse became inseparable from Tutankhamun's story. The world watched, captivated by both treasure and dread. The legend of the curse gained momentum. With the sudden death of Lord Carnarvon, who died from an infected mosquito bite, months after the tomb's opening, a power outage in Cairo, and the death of his dog at the same moment, fueled the myth other deaths followed. Financier George J. Gould, radiologist Douglas Reed, and members of Carter's team, all linked by rumor to the tomb. Each tragedy added to the chilling narrative of supernatural revenge. The media connected every misfortune, painting a picture of a vengeful pharaoh. Even distant visitors were said to be affected. Carter dismissed the stories, but the legend grew. The curse became as famous as the treasures themselves. Tutankhamun's legacy was now entwined with fear and fascination. The myth of the curse was unstoppable. Scientists and skeptics sought rational explanations for the so-called curse of the 58 present. At the tomb's opening, only 8 died. Within 12 years, Carter himself lived for 17 more. The tomb-sealed environment may have harbored toxic mold, causing illness in those with weak immune systems. Egypt's diseases and limited medical care also contributed to the deaths. Many victims were elderly or already ill. The pattern of the curse may be confirmation bias. People saw what they wanted to see. The debate between science and superstition endures. The real mystery lies in how we interpret the past. Tutankhamun's treasures became icons, sparking a global wave of Egyptomania. Exhibitions drew millions, the legend of the curse adding to their allure. The boy king, once erased from history, became its most famous symbol. Today, his mummy rests in the Valley of the Kings, his treasures destined for the Grand Egyptian Museum. The story of Tutankhamun is now a modern myth, one of discovery, wonder, and the unknown. He achieved a form of immortality his priests never imagined. Tutankhamun lives on in our collective imagination. The boy king lost to time has become eternal. His mystery and legend ensure he will never be forgotten. The journey of Tutankhamun continues, captivating the world anew.